Let's start with the Eastern Conference, the Cavs and the Pistons. I foolishly said the Cavs. I think I even said this to you. I was like, oh, the Cavs, they look terrible. And boy, they have righted the ship, and now it's the Pistons who are reeling. We got Cleveland -4, over under 210. Do the Cavs close this one out? Can the Pistons cover? Can the Pistons extend? What do you make of this game?
So we certainly haven't seen anything in this series that indicates that there's a lot of separation between these two teams. And Game 5, which went into overtime, told us that pretty clearly. Now, the fact that it's a short turnaround time, unlike the T-Wolves Spurs, who got an extra day here, this has been one day on, one day off the entire series. I don't think the short turnaround time helps Detroit. And I don't think Detroit's the better of the two teams. So those two factors are pretty clear. And when you blow a 9-point lead at home in the last 2.5 minutes of a playoff game, not going to hit the highway, it's hard to rebound from that. And the Pistons have been as good a character team as there is in the league this year. They've been impervious to bad spots. Detroit has been bet on every bad spot all season. They've been great off a loss. They've been great as road underdogs. I think the best team in the NBA in this road underdog role. So there's certainly cases you can make for the Pistons hanging around in this game. Even if Cleveland wins, they don't even necessarily have to win by margin. I don't think anyone would be surprised if this game is tied with 5 minutes to play or less, and it comes down to crunch time execution. That being said, for the purposes of this, I'm going to talk about the total a little bit. And I had a big ticket. The last couple of days for me has been as frustrating as it gets as a sports bettor. I've lost 3 games, either in the ninth inning with 2 outs or in extra innings. And then I had an under in Game 5 as a big ticket play. And all someone had to do was make one of those 2 last possessions. Someone makes a bucket, we cash the under. Instead, it goes to overtime. It's a no call on the final possession. And we ended up losing in OT. I'm not, however, looking to bet the under again in Game 6. And it comes down to a couple of factors. All right. First, worth noting this quote from Max Strus, quote, it wasn't our best nights offensively, but I think that's what speaks volumes. Getting this win was we found a way. And it wasn't Cleveland's best night offensively. They missed a lot of shots. They were not hitting for 3-point range. What they did was get to the free throw line. And the Cavs have been much better at getting to the free throw line since the first 2 games of the series where Detroit had that advantage. So Cleveland's getting the calls. Cleveland's coming off in with all the momentum. And Cleveland's coming off a game in which they're saying was not our best offensive performance. Yeah, we're looking at over tonight, and obviously the side available on my homepage, wt.buzz/TC. But if you watch the video, you probably know where I'm looking.
Teddy, I will also me, I'm always looking at player props, so I'm following individual stats. And Harden and Mitchell were 4 of 18 from 3 in that last one. I don't expect that to happen again. I agree completely with the over. So. All right, the game I'm most excited for tonight, I have a ticket on the Spurs -1.5 games in the series, and my heart absolutely sank when I saw Wembanyama just clock Naz Reid and get thrown out of the game, and they couldn't recover. But we got the Spurs -5.5 over under 218.5. I know where I stand on this game. Where do you stand?
I stand where you stand. Look. All right, let's talk about the 2 games that Minnesota has won in this series. All right. They positively I'm not going to say they stole game 1, but it's a Spurs team. And again, looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen right now, I'm seeing San Antonio mostly -5.5 out there, total sitting in the 218.5/219 range for Game 6 in Minnesota tonight. And we look at the 2 games that the Timberwolves have won in the series. They won Game 1. They caught San Antonio off a week off layoff, a long layoff. And Anthony Edwards was great in that game. And the Spurs looked like they hadn't been here before, which they hadn't. Since that time, since Game 1, San Antonio has clearly been the better team by margin. And the one game that Minnesota was able to win, it came because Wembanyama did what he had to do. I don't blame Wembanyama for getting tossed. I don't blame him for throwing that elbow. The dude was getting mugged. It happens, and you want your leader showing that fire. And Wembanyama certainly did that for San Antonio. And obviously since Wembanyama threw that elbow, they lost that game. But last time out, not competitive, 126-97. And the quotes coming from Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. I don't see nobody in our locker room that's too worried. There's another basketball game. Come out, put your boots on, and get ready to go to war. Sure. That being said, his other quote was, some of the stuff Wemby was doing, you don't really have an answer for. You just hope he misses. Good luck with that. It looks to me, I'm pretty confident that San Antonio is going to win this series. And we start talking about game 6 and game 7s, really game 5, game 6, game 7. In general, at that stage of the postseason, at that stage of a postseason series, I'm not looking for reasons to bet on the team I don't think is the better of these two teams. So for me tonight, very clear choice. Spurs or pass. I do not want the home underdog.
Just got to hope he misses. I mean, it's kind of true. The guy's 9 feet tall. You're not blocking him. So, the tour de force of Wemby when he had 16 points in the first few minutes of that game was pretty amazing. So, great breakdowns, Teddy. I'm with you on both of those plays. I agree completely. So, tell everyone what you have up for today on Friday.
We got a 3-pack posted right now. 1 in the NBA, 2 in MLB. MLB's been rock solid. We're up, what is it? I don't know. How much am I up? I'm hitting better than 60%, plus 39.3 units in MLB action. That takes all the way back to last year. The NBA playoffs run, I lost the big ticket in overtime on the under, which was really freaking frustrating. But we're still on a 75% run going in today, and we're looking for our 5th consecutive winning postseason, 121-89. Over the last 5 years in NBA playoff action. So 3-pack up and available on my homepage, wt.buzz/TC.